Right. Welcome,
Thank you.
Elizabeth,
Thank
Pop of
you.
Color.
Yes.
You are returning for the third time, but this is the first we've ever done it in person. So we
Yes.
are live
I'm so
from
excited.
the Sempertex International Balloon Convention, and you just wrapped your first class.
Yes.
So it was organic.
hmm
My first question is, what's your reaction when people kind of roll their eyes at organic? Do people still do that, or do you feel like it has earned its respect in the industry?
I think we're still getting there. I think in the United States. So I went to Colombia in August also with Sempertex, and it was so exciting to be there and kind of see the difference in terms of the industry
Yeah.
in a different country. So I would say in the United States it has earned its rank here.
Okay.
Organic is, everybody knows it, people love it, people sell it, and it's good price. Um, I think we're still kind of catching up to the rest of the world. They're still, or I guess maybe they're catching up to us. I don't know which way it goes, but I think some people are still like, I
What
don't
was the
know.
style like in Colombia? More classic?
Not even classic so much, but lots of sculpture work,
Okay.
like lots of just big builds and sculptures, which is absolutely amazing and takes a completely different set of skills to be
Yeah.
able to do that. And I think like what I am excited to see more of, and one of the reasons I'm excited to be here and see all of these other folks teaching their classes from all over the world is for us to be able to kind of cross what we do really well here in the US and what everybody else does really well in their countries. It's been really, really cool to see that.
Well, and speaking of which, how did it feel to be chosen to represent the US at this International Balloon Convention? No pressure.
I am still really pinching myself. I feel like this entire year, 2025, has been a lot of really humbling but fantastic experiences. And I'm so thankful to Sempertex. I'm also really thankful to High Float. They were the very first ones at the beginning of the year. And they were like, "Would you like to work with us and be an ambassador?" And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And then that led to Sempertex. And yeah, it's such a pinch me moment. I cannot believe that I'm here and I get to be around all of these folks who have been in the industry forever and are big names in the industry. It's just been so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and in your class, you were teaching organic. You did a setup with backdrops, something you would see on Instagram. And you
Right.
talked a lot about you're motivated by money.
hmm
We're a lot similar, in
Yes.
a lot of the ways we run our business. I was nodding along to a lot that you said. What are a few tips when it comes to either pricing your organic or selling your organic or maybe mistakes that people are making? Like,
hmm
what are a few tips that you have in terms of staying focused and being clear on that revenue, that income when it comes to court?
Yeah. I think a really important part of it in terms of keeping yourself straight when you are thinking about what you want to do is to have a monetary goal for the year. I have quarterly profit goals and I also have yearly profit goals. And so as I'm going through the year, because obviously this industry is really busy sometimes and really slow other times, I keep those numbers as my North Star. And that helps drive me in the right direction. So I'm not saying yes to a bunch of little teeny tiny things if I'm already pacing for my goal because I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I think another really important part, and we talked a little bit about it in the class in terms of pricing, is I don't know where this got started, but it seems like maybe it's just here in the US. Um, People think that like everybody should be priced the same,
Hmm.
or at least in the same range. It's like if you're not pricing yourself $25 a foot, you're doing it wrong. And I think what has been missing in that conversation is the market that you're in.
Yeah.
Markets are completely different. And so the market value for what somebody does here in Orlando is going to be different for building the exact same thing in New York City,
Yeah.
because the cost of living is different. So you just have to take all of those factors into play when you're thinking about how you're pricing yourself. It's not just about, I want to, be in line with everybody else. It really should be a strategic thought of what is my market value? What can people make
Mhm.
doing what I do in my area? And then how do I price myself accordingly that
Well,
way?
and we have really similar businesses. And I feel like we built them that way because it's what we want.
hmm
So home based, small staff, you know, I don't want to say solopreneur because we definitely have support,
Right.
but it's almost a totally different business than someone who has a brick and mortar and a staff and a fleet of vans. So I
Yes.
feel like sometimes they have the advantage and sometimes we have the
Mhm.
advantage because
Mhm.
you're out of your home, you're renting U-Hauls.
Yep.
You talked about how you'll just have like a flat rate for installation. And
Mhm.
I'm almost the same in all those. I'm home
Yeah.
based. I have a van, but
Mhm.
I'm doing the majority of the installs. And I
Right.
think sometimes I can be a little bit more aggressive on price because it's just me. And sometimes there's jobs where I'm like, I can't even do this because I don't
Right.
have the team. So
Yeah.
I think it's apples and oranges, and we're not all the same.
Yes, I totally agree with all of that. I think, yeah, and it really, we talked about this in our last podcast interview. Like, I think it really is important to understand what your motives are. Like,
Hmm.
what is your personal goal? Because it doesn't have to be the same as everybody else's. I have never had the goal of wanting to open a brick and mortar because retail sounds like the worst
Yeah.
idea ever. So that's just never been my goal. But for some people, it is their goal. So you just need to get really clear about what your ultimate goals are and what your priorities are, and then kind of work your business around that so that you
Yeah.
can get it to where you want it to be.
Quick pause because if you're running a small business and you feel like your brain is holding open 1,000 tiny tabs, this is for you. One of the biggest shifts that I've made in my business and that I've seen successful decorators make over and over is moving from doing everything manually to having a real system behind the scenes. That's why 17 Hats is our exclusive YouTube sponsor for 2026. 17 Hats puts your inquiries, contracts, invoices, questionnaires, emails, and workflows all in one place so you're not chasing clients, forgetting follow ups, or reinventing the wheel every single time someone books. Instead of asking, did I send that and what comes next? Your business just works. The best part, it doesn't make your business feel more robotic. It actually frees you up to do things that you are meant to do, like be creative, work with clients, spend time with your family, and all with less stress. If you're ready to stop duct taping systems together and start operating like a real business, head to 17hats.com to check it out. Once you have a system, everything else gets easier. All right, let's jump back in. Yeah. Another thing you mentioned in your class was a little bit about your production process, what you do at home versus what you do on site. So,
Mhm.
for someone who might relate to you, they're home based, they don't have a huge delivery vehicle, they don't have a team
Mhm.
to go and do the installs for them. What's your preference in terms of what you pre inflate, what you do on site, so that you're not duplicating efforts, but you're not wasting time? Like, what
Right.
works best for you?
So typically, when it's like during busier season, and I will sometimes have three, four, or five setups in one day, I really do prioritize getting as much prep work done in advance of going to the client as possible. So all of my inflating typically I'm doing at home throughout the week. I usually start on Monday and then I start having events on like Friday. Um, if it's a slower time of year though, and I don't want to spend the money to get a U-Haul and I just want to like stuff as much as I can in my own car, as long as I've got some extra time once I get to the client's venue, then yeah, I'll just bring balloons with me. But I focus primarily on the time that I have for each of my clients. And if it's busy season, I want to have as much time in my day as possible. So I want to get all of the prep work done in advance so I don't have to worry about it on site. I can do a setup like the one that we did in our class today in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm in and out, and then I can go to the next one. And it's much easier to stack up several setups in one day doing all that prep work in advance than bringing all the balloons with you because that'll take a few hours to do
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay. Nosy question. What's something you're really bad at? Like, is there
oh
anything
my
in your
god.
business where you're just like, I have no boundaries, or like, I'm just terrible at this technique? Is there something that you really struggle with?
Okay, technique. I'm really terrible with distortions. I have been practicing so much, trying so hard to get better at
Same,
distortions.
except I practice none and I don't care at all. I'm so bad at it.
I just really, it's just for my own sake. Like, I really want to learn how to do it because they're so beautiful. But yeah, I'm so
I'm
insanely
not
bad at
patient
it.
enough. Like, I
I'm
get it
me neither.
wrong once and I'm like, forget it. It's impossible.
Yeah, yeah, and I see, like, what these folks are doing here, and, like, they spent all day yesterday building one thing with all of their distortions, and same, I'm just like, I don't think I have
Yeah.
the capacity to be that. I'm so ADHD, like, I can't focus on one thing for that
Yeah.
long. So that's the technique side that I'm bad at. Business side, I would say when it's slow season, I am actually worse at responding to emails and
Yes!
stuff like that.
It's like when you have so much to do and you have to be on your A game, you
Yes.
totally excel, and then when you have, like, any room to breathe, you're like,
Yes.
"Nah, I'm just gonna slack and
Right. I'm
not
like,
respond."
I just really wanna watch this show tonight, so
What
I'm just
shows
gonna
are
do
you
that.
watching right now?
I watch a lot of, like, I rewatch shows, so Modern Family is always a big
Okay.
one. I just watched season 1 of Ted Lasso for, I think, like,
Oh,
the
it's so
5th
good!
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
Love is Blind, the new season is on,
Yes.
so I started watching that here last night.
Good luck. It's a doozy. These
Yes.
people this season.
They're
I
insane.
tell you, I
Yeah.
tell you. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, in terms of your business, because I love how you think about business, and I loved what you said in your class. What was it? It's not the right way. It's a way.
Yeah.
You're just you don't gatekeep much, which
Mhm.
I love,
Mhm.
and you're not about changing people's mind to do it your way. You're like,
Right.
this is just works for me.
Mhm.
In terms of your business, what is something that you feel like you're proud of? Like you're like, I stick to my guns in this area and it works
Mhm.
for me and I'm proud that I've figured that out.
I am really proud of the client flow that I have set up and I have structured in my business. And it is something that I live and die by. It's something that I talk a lot about. And I know that, you've talked a lot about the pumpkin plan and that I think all of those things are such good things to understand about your own business. Like, do you want to have the most luxurious stuff or do you want to be the quickest or whatever it is that you want to
Right.
be? For me, I want to be that high end, like luxury kind of balloon designer. So my process is someone has to submit an inquiry. If you call me, you're going to leave a voicemail. And then I'm going to text you and be like, here's my inquiry form.
Yeah.
Please fill this out. I'm not going to just hop on the phone with you unless you're a client that I've worked with many times. Um, I'm also not going to skip my what is it called? My,
Site
like,
visit?
client intake call. Yeah,
Oh,
I have a
gotcha.
consultation
Like a
at
discovery call?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. I never skip the 15-minute consultation because for me, that consultation's less about learning what the client wants because 'cause they've already kinda told me that in their inquiry,
Right.
and it's more about getting that client to like me and trust me.
Yeah.
And so if you're familiar with the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, oh, how to win friends and influence people. One of the best things that you can do to get someone to like you is to just ask them questions and let them talk.
Yeah.
And that is what I do in that consultation. And it's a very, very important part of my business because I think that is what has allowed me to have so many repeat clients because they're not just coming to me for the balloons anymore. They're coming to me for me because they
Yeah.
like me and want to work with me.
I saw a reel online and actually it was like the language they used was pretty offensive, but the gist of it was the best salespeople he knows are like total dummies. Like they don't know the answer. They don't try to tell you why they're right. They don't like, they're just like, oh, tell me more about that.
Mhm.
What do you think the best solution would be?
Mhm.
I think whatever you think is right. And like they just kind
Yes.
of go, I mean, I disagree with, that
Right.
part to some extent, but instead of trying to prove your value by knowing everything, they can kind of prove their value by letting the client speak and
Right.
tell you what they want
Right.
and just asking more questions about that and getting clarification and
Mhm.
kind of letting them trust you because you let them talk
Yeah,
is essentially
exactly.
it.
And the other thing that happens more often than not is I get a client talking. That consultation is designed for them to just tell me like all of their hopes and dreams.
Mhm.
Like whatever they want to talk to me about with their event, like the best like wish list of all time.
Yeah.
And more often than not, what happens is because I've just listened and they've built kind of a connection with me, they end up increasing their budget and doing more than
Yeah.
what they would have if I had just been like, okay, well, here's your quote for what you inquired for and just skip that process. So I'm very, very proud of that part of my process. I will never get rid of it because I just think it's incredibly crucial for keeping those clients with
Yeah.
me.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up because you are so busy. This is a very cool event. My first
Yes.
time I mean, their first time having it here.
Yeah.
So, what is something about this convention style that you think is really unique and special?
I love that every single person here gets to see every single instructor
Mm,
that they have. I think that that's so valuable. You don't have to pick and choose. You don't have to feel like you're missing out on something that you wanted to learn. Every single person gets to see every instructor and I love that.
yeah.
Love that
Yeah,
aspect.
we travel in like a little cohort and we don't
Yeah.
have to pick our classes. We just kind of get them assigned. It's
Mhm.
it's very nice and it's a good size. It's like 200 people and it
Mhm.
feels like you can kind of see everybody
Yeah,
and get
yeah.
to connect. So, well, your first class was fabulous.
Thank you.
You have to do it 2 more
Yep.
times. Good luck. It's a
Thank
are you
you.
are you doing anything else in addition to teaching? Do you have to do, like, decor for a special night or anything like that, or they're just
Nope.
allowing you to teach?
Yeah, just teaching. I mean, how lucky is that?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
that's
like,
awesome.
"Can you give me some work to do? Like, I'm here to work for you." But yeah, it's been really nice.
Well, great. Well, congratulations. It's always nice
Thank you.
catching up with you,
Thank you,
and
you
good luck the
too.
rest of the week.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Easy
Yay.
peasy. Thank you.
Thank you, that was fun.